Good afternoon. Welcome to our second Thrive in 30 meeting. I'm excited for all of you guys who are watching this, and I'm fired up right now. So I'm excited to talk to all of you guys and hopefully send you some of the ignite that I have in me right now. So we are 10 days down, and I hope you're feeling some changes, noticing some changes. And I want to encourage you that if you are not, or maybe you feel like you haven't put in the effort that you were hoping so far, you still have tons of time. So that's the good news. So you can still really make a big dent in your health and fitness and wellness right now even if you haven't. So, um, something I want you guys to think of. So, we have our kind of four categories that we're working on, which is your nutrition, your fitness, your hydration, and mental health work. How would you grade yourself? Maybe overall, what would you give yourself? And then you can look at each section too. What would you give yourself a grade if you broke it down? So, what can you do this upcoming week to improve those that might be a little bit lower than you want? Maybe you're doing well in all of them, then how could you set yourself up to continue with that or do even better? Because I'm sure we could all still do a little bit better in some way, somehow. And something, I want to also remind you that we brushed on last week is give yourself small goals. We don't have to do this giant big step to make over our life. You can start with really small goals, and usually that's the best way you're going to motivate yourself and set yourself up for success is by giving yourself small attainable goals that you feel good about when you do them, and it builds your confidence, your willpower, and then you're able to build from there. So if you are struggling, maybe you need to break it down into smaller goals that you can achieve and then build upon if this feels like too much of a stretch for you on some of these areas. Did you take pictures? Are you weighing yourself? Just how are you getting feedback? Is it how your workouts feel? How your recovery is going? Is it how your clothes are fitting? Is it how your sleep feels? Is it how your skin looks? What are you using as a marker? Because if we're not doing anything, then it's going to be hard to tell if you're making progress. I wanted to speak on the subject of honesty today and being honest with yourself. I've worked with a lot of clients over the years and a lot of one-on-one clients. And sometimes what happens is I think, exaggerate things to ourselves or fabricate things. And for example, with nutrition, I worked with someone for nutrition and they were not making progress and were really upset, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but they weren't logging any of the oil they were using to cook their food in. And that's a big deal. That adds up quickly. And so once you can kind of get honest with yourself, some other examples, maybe you eat well 90% of the time, but then maybe every Saturday night you just go off the walls. You just go bonkers with how you're eating and you don't really give yourself the accountability for that. And you say, I eat well all the time. I work so hard. I don't understand why I'm not losing this last 5 pounds. What is going on? Why am I not making progress? And then you're not being honest with yourself that evening could really be throwing you off, and you might need to wipe that out in order to make some big progress with yourself. And the same goes with the gym. I've had clients who, swear they're getting in enough physical activity, and we pull up their sugar wad and look at the past few months, and one week they come in 4 times a week or 5 times a week, which is great. But then the next week is one or two. And then the next week is two, maybe three. And then they get back up to that 5 times a week. So it's your brain, you might think or feel that you're getting in a lot of physical activity. But if you're sit down and you're really honest with yourself, you might have a different answer. And that's big. So I just want you to really take accountability. And that's not a negative thing. I allowed myself to enjoy October, November, December we have a lot of birthdays and holidays in that time period. And I told myself I was just going to still take care of myself and eat well and work out hard, but I'm not going to be mad at myself when my belly looks a little different because I've allowed myself to enjoy that time. So I'm not going to be all negative and down on myself and get angry and lose my confidence and lose my motivation because of that. I'm being honest and taking accountability that, hey, this is going to be a little bit of an off season for me, and that's okay. And I know January's coming, the challenge is coming, and then I can kick my ass again then. So it's a lot better approach than maybe not being fully honest with yourself and then being angry with yourself or wondering why the gym isn't working, why nutrition isn't working, when really it's not either of those things. It's you. So I hope, don't use that as a negative thing to think of. I want you guys to use that to lift yourselves up. And, when we focus on failure and focus on the things we don't do and what's hard and where we're not doing well, where we're not seeing progress, it really decreases our motivation. If you think, God, I lost a half pound this whole week after all that effort. I went to the gym and it didn't do anything. I'm eating so much better. What the heck? I didn't even reach my water goal 3 of the days. I, still didn't fully hit my nutrition goal 3 days of the week. And you just start this spiral of focusing on failure and where you're not reaching your goals. And it totally decreases your motivation and your inspiration and your drive. So instead, let's flip the script and think about, man, 4 out of the 7 days of this week, I hit my nutrition goals. I went to the gym 4 times, even though there were those 2 days I planned on going, but I didn't, but I still made it 4 days out of the week. And, give yourself these positive things to think of. And maybe the scale hasn't budged, but man, my pants fit a lot better. Or gosh, I still am not seeing much change, but my skin looks so bright and so clear. There's changes happening. You have to look for those things. And that mindset is going to take you to a different place, right? If you're thinking that way and appreciating these small wins, you're going to get excited to keep going and to show up and to keep pushing. But when we focus on those failures, it totally takes us down. So if you find yourself getting in that spiral of the negativity, stop, become aware of what you're doing, and start to look at the pros. And that's going to help you find that motivation and increase that motivation to keep going. Something else that is important with this stuff when you're really trying to make some big change is, would it be helpful for you to have spousal support or support from a friend or coworker or neighbor, sibling? Sometimes it can help to have that, and sometimes we don't have enough of that. And when you feel like you're a lone wolf, and I know we're all here, but it's tough when you're the only one in your household or your circle of friends or your work group that's doing this, it can feel really lonely. So would it help if you had someone a little more on board with you? And could you build up the courage to find someone and talk to someone to see if they could maybe hold you accountable in one way? Say, hey, I'm doing this challenge and I really would like an accountability buddy. Do you want to work on drinking enough water with me and we can check in every day? Or I'm trying to do 10 minutes of movement every single day at a minimum. Would you help me with this? Maybe we could walk on our lunch break together. I hope I'm not freezing a whole bunch for you guys. I'm freezing on my screen, but hopefully is the audio okay at least? Okay, it's running smooth. As long as that's going, I don't really care about the looks. But reach out to someone, get some support, get some help. And it could even be somebody in the gym in class. And it doesn't have to be anyone in the challenge, right? I guarantee you somebody would probably be honored at the gym if you went up to them and said, hey, do you want to help me with this challenge? I know you're not in it, but would you want to help me through it? That would be great. And you might totally inspire somebody. I was listening to a podcast today. It was on Tony Robbins' podcast, and he was interviewing Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's incredible. And I sent an email I think it was yesterday, I started a Patreon account so that I can just have more of an outlet. Sometimes it's hard to share things just through our email, and I don't want to be sending out tons of emails all the time. And it's hard to share things all the time on Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff. So Patreon is a really great platform where I can share all kinds of things, and you're the one that gets to decide if you want to subscribe to it. But I posted this podcast on there today. So if you're not on Patreon, go back to the email from yesterday and you can start to follow what I'm doing on there. And I posted the podcast on there, and I really, really would love for all of you guys to listen to it. It was amazing. So his whole thing was talking about how our thoughts and actions and emotions replayed over and over and over throughout the day, over days, over weeks, over months, even over years, that neurochemically conditions our mind and body. And if we keep thinking and doing and feeling the same emotions over and over, we're going to stay the same. And that's what we get trapped into, is thinking the same thing over and over, doing the same thing over and over. And then we get the same results and we wonder why we don't. And, what is that saying? It's doing the same thing over and over is when you expect change. Is like, what is it? The definition of insanity, when you do the same thing over and over and get, are expecting things to change and they don't. Somebody out there is like, you're getting this quote totally wrong. But if you can get new thoughts, new actions, new emotions, then you can neurochemically condition your mind and body to a whole new life, and it becomes second nature, and it's easier and it's more familiar, but it starts with those thoughts and actions. So if you're constantly in that kind of negative mindset and that failure mindset and focusing on what's not going right, it's going to continue to not go right. So you kind of have to think ahead of who you want to be. Do you want to be that person? I mean, whatever it is with you. And we're talking about fitness and nutrition here, so we'll use that as an example. So if I'm trying to be this person who's really fit, I'm really dedicated to the gym, I eat well all the time, I'm super healthy, I don't get sick, I'm motivated every day, I'm driven and inspired, I'm in a great mood every day. You can't just hope that that happens. You have to be that before you are that. So you kind of need to stop, rewire your thoughts and go there. And your behavior has to match your intentions. So if you have these intentions of losing 30 pounds, you have these intentions of becoming healthier, you have these intentions of getting to the gym more, but you don't change any of your behavior, how is it going to happen? You have to match your behavior to your intentions if you want change. And we have 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day. So if you imagine that, and maybe only 1% of that 50 to 60,000 a day is of those new thoughts, is that going to make change? No. Even if it's 10%, we have so many thoughts per day. So we really have to start becoming aware of who we're making ourselves be. And we have to really step into that role and become aware of our thoughts and change directions when we notice those same old thoughts coming up that align with our same old person that we're not trying to be anymore. So we have to start to think differently and act differently and change your outlook. And it might almost feel like you're living in an imaginary world for a while you're not, your life and your body don't quite match yet what you're thinking, but it will start to happen. And I recorded the affirmations, the health, fitness, and wellness affirmations. And those are examples of that. All those statements on there are examples of thoughts that you can start thinking to yourself that, I really enjoy working out. Every workout I do makes me in a better mood. Every piece of fruit I eat is making me healthier. I really enjoy eating healthy. Drinking water makes me feel so good. I have so much energy every day. I have time to go for a 10-minute walk every single day. I wake up inspired every day to work out. Think about those things. Put those thoughts in your head, even if they're fake. Tell it to yourself over and over. And eventually you're going to start to believe it and you're going to start to match your behavior and action to those thoughts. I guarantee you, if you would tell yourself those thoughts all morning, like assign yourself 15 minutes to think of those things, or actually, two drills I want you to try. And I love doing these. If I maybe I'm not super tired at night, I go into like la la land in my brain and give yourself like 3 minutes to just imagine yourself being who you want to be. I mean, from the second you wake up to the second you go to bed, what would it be like to, so we'll again stay on health and fitness. If you're that person who's like, you're to a T, you're doing great with everything, what would your day look like? Just start to imagine that every day. Or you could start to do these affirmations when you're driving to work. I find it's really powerful. Instead of just thinking these things, speak these things. So if you're driving to work, and no one now anymore thinks you're crazy because they just think you're on speakerphone in the car, but sit there while you're driving and say those things, repeat those things. I am getting so strong. I am capable. I really love the feeling of working out. I feel so good after I work out. My mental health is so much better when I stay physically active. I love eating healthy. My body feels leaner every day that I do well with my nutrition, and it's easy for me to do well with nutrition. Just kind of ramble for a few minutes and speak those things, and you literally will feel your energy increase. You're going to feel your confidence increase, your willpower increase, and you start to believe it, and your energy starts to kind of come into this new you. And on this podcast, Dr. Joe Dispenza was talking about how these thoughts that are now new and changed, they literally change your DNA and your makeup of your body. And he was saying these nerve cells then start to fire together when you're thinking these thoughts and imagining these things. They literally wire together and form new connections in your brain. So you are literally changing how your brain works, how your body works by putting these thoughts out there. So start to do that. We can't live unconsciously and just go through our day totally unaware of what we're thinking and what we're doing. And we're just on autopilot and we're stuck in that same old, same day, same in and out, same routine, in and out, same thoughts, in and out, same actions, in and out, same behavior. You're going to get the same results. And that's why we're all doing this challenge. We all want a different result. So start becoming more conscious of what you're thinking. Something he said that I thought was really cool too was your personality is your personal reality. I thought that was so cool. And that's so true, right? I mean, if you're negative nanny and complaining all the time and mad all the time and unsatisfied all the time, that's your reality. But if you start to get this personality of being happy to do things, grateful to do things, enjoying things, that starts to become your reality. Life gets easier, life gets happier. It's just, it changes everything. So I love that. Personality is your personal reality. All right. That's my ramble for today. Do any of you guys have questions, concerns, wins? What do you want to share? Do you want to ask? We'll just leave that open to you guys and then we'll wrap it up.
Molly, I'd say that for me, like kind of my struggle this week in particular has been on the days I don't make it to the gym. It's really hard for me to get a workout, even like 10 minutes of, because I'm just thinking, oh, if I don't get my heart rate elevated and not like it won't be good enough. You know what I mean? So it's like I tend to sometimes think, well, I won't even bother taking a walk because it's not going to be, the intensity that counts. And so that's kind of been my struggle, I think.
Yeah, no, I actually today I was thinking that was when I was talking about grading yourself. That was my also thing that I've struggled with is usually on my rest days, I rest. Like, I mean, I'm not doing anything else. I'm active with the kids and walks and stuff like that. But yeah, same thing for me. So, um, I think maybe could you do like a core routine, lay down on the ground, do some planks, do some sit-ups, do some side planks, do some Russian twists, do some high knees, then come back down to the ground, do something else, do some butt kickers, come back down to the ground, do a few air squats, like almost think about like the warm up at the gym, right? Just
Mhm.
do 10 minutes, get your kids involved, put on some music, put on a 10-minute timer, and you would be shocked how fast it goes by. Um, and but I'm right there with you. That's kind of where I struggle as well. So what could make it easier for you? Would it make it easier if you had the kids do it with you? Would it be easier if you something too that I really love that's such a great resource is YouTube. There's
Mhm.
so much on there for free. Hey JP. But there's so much you could do, and even maybe that 10-minute walk, um, do a walk run, go out and walk and then just jog for 10 to 30 seconds, walk again, jog for 10 to 20 seconds, 10 to 30 seconds, and just get that heart rate a little bit higher than if you just did a walk. But yeah, for me, setting a timer is huge. And you can even be in, I mean, I'm in like jeans and a normal shirt, like, and that's what I'm going to do it in today. Like, I don't even care. I did that last Sunday too. I asked the kids, I was like, do you guys want to do a core workout with me? That was the video I put up. I don't know if any of you guys saw that, but they loved it and they had so much fun with it. And it was great because it got them moving. It put them in a better mood. And, I got to get my movement in. But yeah, it is hard. It is hard for sure.
No, thank you.
Yeah, sure. And I know you're doing great. You told me at the beginning of last week you were down like 5 pounds already. It's amazing.
It's been kind of like back and forth, kind of like you were saying, it's kind of back and forth.
Hmm.
I but I mean, I'm trying to stick with things like yesterday. I think I only got 2 points, but today I decided I'm going to get back on the water, and so
Hmm.
I've been drinking that, and I'm going to hit that today, and
Good.
so I'm just trying to make each day a new day.
Good. Yep. Yeah, that's perfect. Because otherwise it's easy to let yourself just fall. Yeah, every day is a blank slate, right? That's
Yeah.
good. New opportunities. So very good. Good job.
Thank you.
Kathy, how are you doing? Since I can see you, I'm going to put you on the spot.
I um I haven't been feeling my best the past week, so I feel like I've done okay managing what I can control,
Hmm.
but like that I don't know, it's just like whatever the under the weather just impacts attitude and uh but water helps and the nutrition helps. But then I also crave, saltine crackers or whatever. So there are some downsides to when you don't feel
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
kind of go back to some old things. But the biggest thing is I just haven't felt well enough to go into the gym.
Hmm.
And I feel like that has had a negative impact on my mood and attitude. So I'm hopeful to get back in it. I'm going to go line dancing today.
Oh,
They're
fun.
doing a thing in Heliopolis. It's for free if anybody wants to come. It's like 2 to 5.
Oh, cool.
So I'm optimistic about like kind of getting into the being out there, just having fun and being around people. So
That's great. That's such a nice thing to do, especially when it's active and yeah,
right.
it's really fun. So, well, good. Well, I hope you feel better this week and way to still do what you can because it is really hard when you're sick. It's like you just want to, yeah, not eat the same and sit on the couch and snuggle up. So, well, I hope you
Right.
feel better.
Yeah.
That's no fun, but good for you for sticking with it and even showing up today, is big. So, good job.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate the Zooms that you're putting together. It's very helpful.
Yeah, good, good. I'm glad you're tuning in. Let's see. Stormy or Susan, if you guys had anything, feel free to pop on. And if not, that's okay too. I know some of you guys are probably multitasking. Hi, Susan.
Hello. Um, no, I just wanted to say I appreciate these the calls on Sunday too. They just kind of remind me what, we're doing this for and to if I have been off track to get back on track.
Hmm.
Um, I haven't been doing too bad. I think I've lost about 3 pounds. I'm
Wow.
kind of like Mandy. I go up and down,
Yeah.
it'd be a pound here and there.
Yeah.
And I'm not weighing myself every day. Maybe once a week. So
Hmm.
I've really only weighed myself. That was after like the first 4 days. I think I lost that much and I haven't weighed myself since. So
Cool. Okay.
um, I'll probably do that sometime this week. But um, I really the thing I struggle with, I do great all day as far as the nutrition. And then come evening, when you're making food for other people
Mhm.
or there's always one thing that I'll want or that I'm making for somebody else that I probably shouldn't eat, and sometimes I do.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yep.
uh, but other than that, I'm doing really well with water, which I was a terrible drink. I just never drank water. I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then I would go to bed and I'd be like, I'm thirsty. I'm like, this is silly.
Mm.
Why don't I just drink water all day?
Yeah. Yes.
Uh, so I have been doing really good with that. Um, so I'm, happy about that. So I think that's going to continue. And I love, coming to the gym. I just love that mentally. That
Mhm.
really has helped me through the years. So the days that I don't, or that you don't have a class like today, um, that is a little bit of a struggle. But I did 10 minutes of, I did similar to the first workout that you put that video on, just the kind of like your warmest, your movement. I did some of that jumping, and so I kind of, like you said, made up my own movements and worked out. But I was breathing heavy for at least 10 minutes. Is probably a little longer. So
That's great. Well, it
we'll
sounds
keep
like
it
you're
up.
doing, yeah, you're doing phenomenal. So good job. And I can relate to the nighttime stuff too, because that's my kids aren't eating the way I am right now. And I have to make their food. So
Hmm.
it's hard when it's right there in my hands, and it is very hard. So um I think I've had like one or two bites this week of their stuff, and I'm like, oh, no, because I'm really trying to be, all or nothing with it and be really tough this month on myself. And
Right.
so you're not alone in that. And yeah, weighing is interesting because with what I'm doing with my nutrition, I kind of do a higher protein, higher carb, higher fat meal on Saturday nights, like
Mhm.
really get it in, where the rest of the week is um, a little bit different than that and in more of like a fat loss mode. So I
Mhm.
kind of let myself fill up on the Saturday night, but it's interesting because even on those days where I'm like, oh man, I bet my weight's going to be down and it's not. But I took picture yesterday because my weight hadn't budged a whole lot, but I felt like, things were changing and I could really see the difference in the picture, which is cool because I've been really sore this week too from the workouts, and that your body holds on to a
Mhm.
lot of water when you're really sore. So, I know things are
Okay.
changing and it's cool to get that feedback from the picture and see, oh, okay, things are happening. But yeah, the scale can be funny. And because of that meal last night, I like weighing. I finally am out of the mental space where it doesn't mess with me to weigh myself more often. But
Mhm.
I was up like about 2 pounds just from that meal
Yeah.
last night.
Sure.
But I know it's
Yeah.
like there's a lot of water in my gut from that
Uh-huh.
meal and probably other things.
Right.
um, and
Right.
then yeah, just being sore from the workout. But it's a cool experiment to see what happens.
Yep.
So
Good.
good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're doing just an incredible job. I'm really proud of you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Stormy, did you have anything? Or are you content where you're at right now in the challenge? You don't have to pop on if you don't want to, or if you're not able.
No, I'm good. I had to go back to work, and so that's always a little bit of struggle when you got to get back into that groove. So
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Well, Stormy had her birthday the other day
today,
too. It's today. Oh, happy
it's today.
birthday.
Thank you.
So that terrible workout that you guys did on Friday, you can thank Stormy for that and Tim. They kind of melded their minds on that one, but that was for Stormy's birthday. So well, I hope that you're getting to enjoy your birthday weekend.
Yes.
Good, good. All right, guys. Well, if you anything else pops up, you know where to find me. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll have our next meeting next Sunday, same time, same place. I'll send you guys out the link in advance again, and I'll be posting this recording if you guys wanted to rewatch or send it out to anybody or anything like that. So thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Thanks, Molly. Happy
You're
birthday, Stormy.
welcome.